A mother's dark secret. Ada was the kind of woman whose beauty turned heads wherever she went. Her smile was bright and warm, and her heart was as pure as gold. She grew up in a small village, where she was known for her kindness and gentle spirit. When she met Ifena, a hardworking and handsome young man from the neighboring village, it was love at first sight. Their connection was instant, and soon enough, their love blossomed into something truly special. The day of their wedding was a joyful one. The whole village came to celebrate their union, with drums beating and women singing traditional songs. Ada's family was proud and excited, and Ifena's friends teased him about how lucky he was to have found such a wonderful woman. But there was one person whose heart was filled with bitterness and anger on that happy day, Ifena's mother, Mama Ejim. She stood at a distance, her face as hard as stone, watching the celebrations with disapproval. She had never liked Ada, believing that she wasn't the right woman for her son. Mama Ejim had her heart set on another young woman from the village, someone she thought would be a better match for Ifena. As the wedding continued, Mama Ejim's mind raced with dark thoughts. She couldn't stand the idea of her son being with Ada, and she vowed to herself that she would do everything in her power to break them apart. After the wedding, Ada and Ifena settled into their new life together. They moved into a small, cozy house that Ifena had built with his own hands. It was surrounded by lush green trees and beautiful flowers that Ada tended to every day. The couple was deeply in love, and their days were filled with laughter and joy. Ifena was a farmer, and he worked hard every day to provide for his new wife. Ada, on the other hand, took care of the home, cooking delicious meals and keeping everything in order. They were a perfect team, and their love for each other only grew stronger with each passing day. But in the background, Mama Ejim was silently fuming. She had hoped that Ifena would lose interest in Ada after a few months of marriage, but that hadn't happened. Instead, he seemed more devoted to her than ever. This made Mama Ejim even more determined to put an end to their happiness. One day, Mama Ejim called on a local witch doctor, a man known for his powerful charms and dark magic. She told him about her son's marriage and how she wanted Ada out of the picture. The witch doctor listened carefully and nodded, understanding exactly what she wanted. He gave Mama Ejim a small, twisted piece of root and whispered instructions into her ear. This root, he said, will ensure that Ada never bears a child. Without children, your son will grow tired of her, and he will send her away. Mama Ejim took the root, her heart filled with cold satisfaction. She was sure that, without the hope of children, Ifena's love for Ada would soon fade. She followed the witch doctor's instructions carefully, and from that day on, she carried the secret burden of her dark deed. Months passed, and despite their deep love, Ada and Ifena faced a growing sadness. They had hoped to start a family, but no matter how much they tried, Ada couldn't get pregnant. This weighed heavily on Ada, who felt that she was failing her husband. Ifena noticed her sadness and tried to comfort her. "Don't worry, my love," he would say, holding her close. "Children will come when the time is right. What matters most is that we have each other." But deep down, Ada couldn't shake the feeling that something was wrong. She prayed every day, asking for a child, but her prayers seemed to go unanswered. She couldn't understand why, and the thought of it made her heart ache. While Ada and Ifena struggled with their situation, Mama Ejim's bitterness grew. She noticed that instead of drifting apart, the couple seemed to become closer. Ifena's love for Ada only deepened, and he became more protective of her. This infuriated Mama Ejim, who couldn't understand why her plan wasn't working. How can he still love her? She muttered to herself angrily. Why hasn't he turned against her? The longer Ada and Ifena stayed together, the more desperate Mama Ejim became. She visited the witch doctor again, demanding stronger magic. But the witch doctor warned her that there were limits to what he could do, and that tampering too much with dark forces could have serious consequences. Despite the growing tension, Ada remained resilient. She continued to take care of her home and love her husband with all her heart. She knew that she was meant to be with Ifena and that they would find a way to overcome this challenge. Ada's faith was strong, and she often visited the village church to pray. She spoke with the village priest, who comforted her and encouraged her to keep believing in love and in God's plan. Ada found solace in these visits, and they gave her the strength to keep going. As time went on, people in the village began to notice that Ada had not yet conceived. In a small community where children were seen as a blessing, this was unusual. Some people started to whisper behind Ada's back, wondering if something was wrong with her. Others, who were more sympathetic, worried for her and Ifena. The whispers reached Mama Ijim, who secretly enjoyed the gossip. She hoped that the village's judgment would put pressure on Ifena to send Ada away. But Ifena remained steadfast in his love for his wife, and he ignored the talk of others. One day, while Ada was walking home from the market, she had a strange encounter. An old woman, whom she had never seen before, stopped her on the road. The woman had a kind face and a knowing smile, but there was something mysterious about her. "Child," the old woman said, "you carry a heavy burden on your heart. But remember, love is stronger than any curse. Trust in your love, and you will find a way through this darkness." Ada was taken aback by the woman's words. She hadn't told anyone outside of her family about her struggles, yet this stranger seemed to know. Before Ada could ask more, the old woman disappeared into the crowd, leaving Ada with a strange sense of hope. At home, Ifena noticed that Ada was quieter than usual. He knew that the situation was taking a toll on her, and he felt helpless. He loved her more than anything and couldn't bear to see her in pain. One night, after a particularly hard day, Ifena made a decision. He took Ada's hand and looked into her eyes. "Ada, I know this has been difficult for you, but I want you to know that I love you more than anything. I married you because I wanted to spend my life with you, not because of children. We will find a way through this together." Ada's eyes filled with tears of gratitude. She knew that Ifena's love was true, and it gave her the strength to keep going. Mama Ijim, seeing that her plan was not working, decided to take matters into her own hands once more. She went to the witch doctor and demanded that he create a charm that would break Ada and Ifena's bond forever. The witch doctor, however, was hesitant. "Your son's love is strong," he warned. "If you try to break it, the consequences could be severe." But Mama Ijim was blinded by her desire to control her son's life. She ignored the warning and took the charm, determined to use it against Ada. Mama Ijim waited until Ada was out of the house one day. She sneaked into their home and placed the charm under their bed, muttering dark words under her breath. She believed that this would be the final push needed to make Ifena turn against Ada. But as soon as she left the house, strange things began to happen. The skies darkened, and a cold wind blew through the village. It was as if nature itself was reacting to the evil deed she had done. That night, Ada had a vivid dream. In it, she saw the old woman she had met on the road standing in a field of flowers. The woman spoke to her again, but this time, her tone was urgent. "Beware of the darkness that seeks to divide you," the woman said. "Only love and faith can break the curse. You must find the strength within yourself to fight it." Ada woke up in a cold sweat, her heart racing. She didn't fully understand the dream, but she knew it was a warning. She decided to pray more fervently, asking for protection and guidance. Over the next few days, Ifena began to feel different. He couldn't explain it, but something seemed to be pushing him away from Ada. He found himself getting irritated over small things, and he had to fight hard to keep his emotions in check. He didn't understand what was happening, but deep down, he knew that this wasn't him. He loved Ada, and he didn't want to hurt her. But the charm that Mama Ejim had planted was working its dark magic, trying to create a rift between them. One evening, after another small argument, Ada felt overwhelmed. She could sense that something was wrong, but she didn't know what it was. She decided to talk to Ifena openly about her fears. "Ifena," she began, "I feel like something is trying to come between us. I don't know what it is, but I can feel it. We need to stay strong and fight this together." Ifena looked at her, and for a moment, the darkness lifted. He realized how much he loved her and how much he wanted to protect her. "You're right, Ada," he said. "Whatever it is, we'll face it together." Ada and Ifena decided to visit the village priest the next day. They told him everything that had been happening, including Ada's dream and the strange feeling in their home. The priest listened carefully and then spoke. "There are dark forces at work here," he said. "But love is stronger than any curse. You must pray together, and I will come to your home to bless it. With faith, you can overcome this." The priest came to their home that evening. He walked through every room, sprinkling holy water and saying prayers. When he reached the bedroom, he stopped suddenly, sensing the presence of the charm. "There is something evil here," he said. He knelt down and searched under the bed, finding the charm that Mama Ejim had placed there. He took it and threw it into the fire, watching as it burned away. "This charm was meant to destroy your love," the priest said, "but it has no power now. Trust in each other and in God, and you will be free from this darkness." The truth revealed. With the charm destroyed, Ada and Ifena felt a weight lifted from their shoulders. The strange feelings that had been plaguing them disappeared, and they were closer than ever. But there was still one thing left to resolve: the truth about Mama Ejim's involvement. Ada didn't want to believe that her mother-in-law could be capable of such evil, but she couldn't ignore the signs. Ifena, sensing his mother's guilt, decided to confront her. He visited her the next day and asked her directly about the charm. At first, Mama Ejim denied everything, but under her son's intense gaze, she finally broke down and confessed. Mama Ejim wept as she told Ifena about her jealousy and her desperate attempts to break up his marriage. She explained that she had believed Ada wasn't the right woman for him and that she had been blinded by her own desires. Ifena was heartbroken by his mother's confession, but he also felt a deep sense of betrayal. "How could you do this to us?" he asked. "Ada and I love each other, and we could have been happy from the start if you hadn't interfered." Mama Ejim could only sob, realizing the pain she had caused. When Ifena returned home, he told Ada everything. Ada was shocked and saddened by the news, but she also felt a deep compassion for Mama Ejim. She knew that holding on to anger would only bring more pain, so she decided to forgive her. "Ifena," she said gently, "we can't let this destroy our family. I forgive your mother, and I hope that one day she can find peace." Ifena was amazed by Ada's strength and kindness. He promised to support her and to work towards healing their family. With the dark magic gone and forgiveness in their hearts, Ada and Ifena began to rebuild their lives. They continued to pray together and grew even closer as a couple. Mama Ejim, filled with regret, also sought forgiveness from the village priest. She vowed to change her ways and to make amends with Ada and Ifena. Over time, the bitterness in her heart faded, and she slowly started to accept Ada as her daughter-in-law. As the story of Mama Ejim's actions spread through the village, people were shocked. But they were also moved by Ada's strength and Ifena's unwavering love for his wife. The villagers began to see Ada in a new light, and they offered their support and prayers for her and Ifena. Months passed, and Ada continued to hope for a child. She and Ifena prayed every day, believing that their love and faith would bring them the family they longed for. And one day, Ada began to feel different. She visited the village healer, who confirmed that she was finally pregnant. Ada was overjoyed and couldn't wait to tell Ifena the good news. When Ada told Ifena that she was expecting, he couldn't contain his happiness. He lifted her in his arms and spun her around, laughing with pure joy. They both knew that this child was a blessing, a symbol of their love and the trials they had overcome. Mama Ijim was also deeply affected by the news. She realized that her attempts to control her son's life had nearly destroyed her family, and she was filled with gratitude that they had been given a second chance. She devoted herself to helping Ada during her pregnancy, doing everything she could to make up for her past mistakes. In the end, Ada and Ifena welcomed a healthy baby boy into the world. They named him Chukwemeka, meaning God has done well, to honor the journey they had been through and the blessings they had received. As they held their newborn son, surrounded by family and friends, Ada and Ifena knew that their love had triumphed over all obstacles. They had faced darkness, but with faith, forgiveness, and unbreakable love, they had found their way to the light. Moral lesson. True love is not just about the good times, but also about standing together through trials. In the face of challenges, hold on to your faith, and never let bitterness or envy take root in your heart. Forgiveness can heal even the deepest wounds, and with love, anything is possible. I hope you enjoyed the tale. If so, please like the video, comment, share it with your family and friends, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on the notification bell for more enchanting tales like this one. Goodbye.